All right, everyone, welcome back once again to this Beefcast presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef. Joining me is Snow. How's it going, Shay?
Good. Excited. Here we are at the finals.
Finals. Buzz Open, number 2, 32-man tournament. $25 on the line for this best of 5 here. It's going to be a pretty fun match in the top right-hand corner of TSL 4, Antigua Shipyard. He is the pink Zerg, dominating every one of his opponents that we've seen today. He is Sam.
And in the bottom left, wearing the red trunks, Medke the Protoss.
Yeah, Medke showing us some absolutely beautiful kind of mind games and decision-making, varying up his play quite a lot in every one of his matchups. So I think this is going to be a really cool series. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. And this PvZ matchup starting here on Antigua Shipyard, definitely going to be fun.
Yeah, with the final between a Protoss and a Terran, reminiscent of NASL.
A Protoss and a
I do have a
Zerg.
chair this time. And by Protoss Terran, I mean Protoss Zerg.
Yep, like you said. Terran, not doing so hot lately. Not taking a single one of the spots in the top 8 at WCS Korea. NASL, not so hot. Blah, blah, blah. But you have MVP and Tasia, and they just win everything, right?
That's right.
So everything's
Well,
all right.
It's because they're Terran. It's because they're MVP and Tasia.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, Forge Fast Expand going to be the choice down here for Medke as the Forge goes down on the low ground right now. Probe blocking the natural hatchery over here at Sam's base as one drone does manage to make his way down there. We'll see if pylon block does actually occur or not. Probe actually going to just continue blocking for the time being as the hatchery actually does go down. So actually very good read there by Sam. And the probe just kind of looking like, what? I was supposed to be able to get a pylon down. Unfortunate. Medke back at home, dropping that Nexus before Cannon, before Gateway. So the economic opening, and something that I like seeing from his opponent, that there was not any kind of a super early pool, going with the 14 pool, 14 pool before 16 hatchery. Completely standard. And happy to go ahead and drop Gate, Cannon, or Cannon Gate, excuse me. Not like Watergate. Oh,
It
man.
sounds like Watergate.
Yep. Oh, man, did you hear that Neil Armstrong died?
I didn't.
Yeah, dude. That's what you get for sleeping. Once again, you just don't hear about a bunch of things.
Well, like a lot happened yesterday.
Yesterday was a big day. Neil,
Well,
yeah,
I
man.
missed it.
Neil Armstrong died. It's kind of really sad.
That is too bad.
We probably wouldn't have. Well, that probe was once again in a pretty bad position. I mean, if I was Medke, I'd probably be firing that probe. What do you think?
Yeah.
He had the opportunity to block 2 different hatcheries there and really didn't get either of them down. So unfortunate. But 4 Zerglings do make their way onto the map. Go ahead.
Really? That must have been a Union probe.
No, if he was a Union probe, then there'd be 3 other probes sitting around watching him do nothing. Oh, sorry. Why is there
It's a
no
pro
music
Union
in this
cast. We
game?
take that all back.
Alright, so 4 Zerglings going to be making their way across the map right now for the Zerg player, as he is on 3 hatch now, with the third about halfway done. One Queen going to be already injecting up at the top base, whereas another one going to be created at the natural here very soon. Wall is completely finished down here for Medke, looking very secure with that Zealot blocking the entrance. Natural already going to be working out right now and getting up to that 6-minute mark. That's really where Zerg wants to be able to check what his opponent's doing. Right here at about 6 to 6:30 is where you would be seeing some early gases coming down. You really need to check your opponent's gas timings to be able to make the proper read and defend properly. So we'll be really looking at these 3rd and 4th gases down here at the natural to see what Protoss might be doing. Right now we do see double gases going down at the standard timing of about 6:15 here for the Zerg, so playing a completely standard game is Sam. Now, what is not so completely standard is the 3rd gas that Sam actually just took there at his natural. So with that 3rd gas, we could be seeing a few different things. He wants to be able to get his upgrades out a little bit faster. We could be seeing that he wants to get layer out a a little bit faster, or we could be seeing that he just wants to start stockpiling up gas faster for a very gas-heavy build, something like Mutas or super early infestors. But with that Roach Horn coming down, we actually could be just seeing a complete Roach aggression here. And that is definitely a possibility, seeing that there is no geysers going down for gases number 3 and 4. That's a tell to a Zerg that it's going to be primarily a gateway-based army. Nothing too high on gas. If those gases go down here at about 8 minutes, then you could be going for something like a 6 or 7 gate blink. But right now, all of his gas is being sunk into these sentries for the time being. And so there's the gases right there. And this could be a late Immortal push, but I think more than likely it's going to be a 3-base play, actually. Going to use those sentries to try to expand, but we shall see. They're going to be starting back at home for our Zerg player, in addition to having that Evolution Chamber down to be prepared for anything like DTs, which are not really a possibility. And with the Robo coming down as well, I think this is going to be a 3-base expansion here for our Protoss player, but we shall see. So what do you think about a Zerg's odds of going up against a 3-base Protoss here on Antigua?
Well, if the Zerg is also only sitting on 3 base, I would give the edge to the Protoss.
Certainly. Macro Hatchery going to be going up right now in the main for our Zerg player, bringing his hatchery total up to 4 right now. And the Protoss player just kind of continuing to macro, warping in lots of sentries, working off of all 4 of those gases right now. So when this Robo facility does come down, it's going to start producing a few Immortals, and he might be looking to hit a slightly later Sentry Immortal push, and with 4 more gateways going down, that is most certainly what he's going to be doing, going up to a total of 8 gates plus Robo. This is actually an all-in build right here. But the Robo is really late. The Robo should have been down about a minute and a half earlier than it was, so he's not going to have very many Immortals to come with this composition. But at the same time, his opponent is looking to move out as well, working on 63 probes to only 44 drones here. This is a very aggressive economy for our Zerg player. Roach speed about 3/4 of the way done, and he might be able to just keep his opponent contained right here without being able to move out onto the map and get into a good position to fight. The Protoss might just not be able to fight. But this I don't like at all. Sam's going to be trying to break the ramp right here. Wants to be able to get up there with some of his Zerglings. Roach is going to be able to fire down on a few of these Zealots and take them out. But some nice forward field is going to come in. Say what?
I think I lost a sentry, didn't I?
Did your mic fall over? I can barely hear you.
Oh, no. What about now?
Oh, it's a little bit better. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, no, I haven't moved anything.
Strange. Anyway, so the Roaches are going to continue to stream across the map right now, and taking out a few sentries there was actually a very good thing from Sam. And with +1 on those Roaches right now, he's going to be trying to take out that Forge. He wants to be able to stop +1 from his opponent from finishing ASAP. Immortals continue to be chrono boosted out right now as a few more drones are squeezed in back home, and an infestation pit will be starting as well. And so right now, Sam is on a pretty good composition. These Roaches are going to be very effective at dealing with any kind of pressure if he moves out. He's not going to be able to break down this front door, though, but he could be able to stall here and make sure that his opponent's not going to be taking his third while macroing up, teching back home, and even going to be starting +1 ground weapons for melee right now.
And
so
passaging lands going down there as well.
Yep, and the 4th base can be started here on the the middle mineral patch here. Not gold, because this is not a ladder version of the map. This is actually the TSL version, of course. And one more pylon going to get sniped there, but it's looking like the Protoss army is finally getting to a size, that critical mass, where he might be able to push out into these Roaches. 3 Immortals with +1 are going to absolutely vaporize Roaches. So we'll see. Chrono boosting into the warp gates right now. Wants to be able to get units out as fast as possible, but at home for the Zerg player, that bank is getting very large. Hive Tech has started in addition to that Spire, so looking for that Broodlord transition. This game is looking to go very late, and as long as he's able to keep his Protoss opponent on 3 bases, Sam's looking in very good position right now.
He is also moving a Warp Prism out across the map, looking at the third of Sam.
Yeah, Sam, like he's trying to keep his opponent contained right now, even sacrificing a few more units to try to get up the ramp and see what is going on. But because of this, he doesn't have anything at home. He's not set up any spine crawlers or spore crawlers to defend this drop, and his opponent, knowing that he might be very well capped out on units, he might not be able to build anything else at home. Although there are currently Zerglings in position right here on the ramp that could be in shape to go ahead and try to defend. And the Warp Prism actually going to fly by right there as a few Zealots do in fact get warped in. And the Zealots with +1 are going to be able to two-shot these Lings. So they're going to be able to be relatively effective, but there's just so many Lings. At the same time though, this did force the entirety of the army home, and it stopped the contain here on our Protoss player. Now, Protoss should have seen all those Roaches come back and should be looking to move out and establish himself right here to try to take a little bit more position, but he's being passive. He's not moving out, and he's losing his opportunity. He's trying to move out now, but it's taken a little while to try to get out there, and now he's in a relatively good position. All these Zerglings are going to be moving out, though, as long as he can get himself into a corner over here so that he can get some good force fields. He might be able to engage this properly, and the force fields do come down, and they're relatively decent. They need to be a little bit further out, but the Zerglings do get in there, and they're able to do quite a bit of damage, but Immortal's actually just pounding in damage, and this was a fight for the Protoss, most certainly. He's going to take a pretty big army lead as a result, but the economy for our Zerg player right now, sitting on 5 bases, 3 of them saturated, a 4th working on being saturated as well, and may even start mining gas at the same time. Greater Spire being at about 80%. Going to see Corruptors, a Remax on a whole lot of stuff, and even drops being researched right now. So,
Yeah, and Thermal Lance coming up here for the Protoss, but it's exactly the wrong tech he needs right now if we're going to see Broodlords hopping onto the field.
yeah, a couple of Colossi could be the answer to Broodlords, just because you need to clean up those Broodlings very fast, and Colossi are very good at that. But as we move in right here, some more nice force fields going to be going down, trapping a couple of Infestors and some Roaches as the Fungals do go down on the Protoss army, bringing a lot of it into the red and a few into the orange, but not going to be able to stop the army for the time being. And the Protoss actually looking like he's just going to be able to mow down the 4th base right now. A lot of these drones do end up dying, and they're going to be looking like they want to transfer down into the 5th base over here, but not quite able to get there. A couple of the Broodlords are going to be in position, but without Blink Stalkers, the Broodlords are actually going to be relatively effective. The Colossi have started making their way out onto the map with those Thermal Lances you'd mentioned done already. This could be a relatively good position for the Protoss, and one Colossus does actually escape right here, but those Broodlords get in, and the Protoss does need to defend right now. He needs to be a little bit passive. Those Corruptors going to be coming in and bringing down the Colossi just as fast as they can, and he cannot engage into those Broodlords right now without Blink Stalkers, and not even taking a third. I think our Protoss player is in a really rough position right now.
Yeah, so especially how exactly what I was thinking as I was watching that, the Blink was what's really missing here.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. He must not have had a good read on his opponent, knowing that he was taking the Broodlords right there. And so without that Blink, it's going to be really difficult. Twilight Council finally being started back here so that he can start further upgrades and look to research that Blink, but he's so far behind economically on his opponent right now, and even tech-wise, he's so far behind. He needs to be upgrading just everything. He needs to be getting 3-3 up as fast as he possibly can. He needs to be souping up his infrastructure.
Holding up from ground weapons as well.
Yeah. He needs to be looking at a fleet beacon to be getting a mothership. But he's just not able to get any of that right now. And as this 10 Broodlord army starts bearing down on his 3rd base, I think Sam's put himself into position to take game 1 here.
Yeah, it's not looking promising right now. A little bit of engagement here with the 3rd. But those Broodlords are now just causing so much trouble.
Yeah, Broodlord's just raining down hell on this Protoss army. Behind this, Sam continuing to expand, just trying to clean up these Broodlings for the time being, but as long as he's contained to just 1 base, or to 2 base, the 1 base mining right now as the other main base has gone ahead and mined out, and looking like he wants to go for a base trade situation. This is something that you can do against a Broodlord army, but not when the Broodlords are already at your base. The Broodlords are the immobile force, but they're also very good at killing things. Once they're at your base, you need to kind of repel them or you're going to lose the game. And the Broodlord's just going to go ahead and make their way on into the main right now, float on in, Protoss army is going to be eviscerating the Zerg natural very quickly here. And
Yeah, I mean, the base trade, you're lucky to Zerg with 5 bases and you only have 2.
it's
That's
just
a very bad situation.
it's going to die very quickly. The one hope here is that he might be able to get pylon off, but I don't think there's any probes that have made it out of the base for the time being. A few probes do make their way down over to the third, and with almost 3,000 minerals right now, the Zerg is actually retreating. So it's a good decision that the Zerg did want to retreat. He wants to be able to save all the tech in his main up here, and with a few Broodlords under those Overlords, he's going to be able to prevent some focus fire right away. But the Protoss player getting himself into a relatively decent
That's
position.
a wonderful force field down there.
Yeah, and he's in a decent position. He's cleaning up a lot of the ground army right now, and even though the tech is still there and the money is there, there might not be enough units. I don't know. The
Broodlords hanging out.
Yeah, the Broodlords are just going to rain down on this Protoss army until there's absolutely nothing left. And GG comes out of Medke. Game number 1 in this best of 5 going to Sam, bringing himself within 2 games here of closing it out and taking home the first place prize. Oh, yeah, and there at the end, you still had the tech, you still had a couple of bases, but he just didn't have the larva to really reproduce, but it didn't matter. He had all those Broodlords. He still had 11 Broodlords there, and 11 Broodlords versus an army without Blink Stalkers, not a position that you want to be in.
No, absolutely not. No, it was going to be a close game. Hats off to Medke for holding on like he did, but again, a clear eco advantage.
Yeah, Sam doing very good at making sure to just deny his opponent that third. He never lets them get their third up. He gets that eco advantage, and he just takes it. Takes it, runs with it, takes it in the late game, wins the game. We'll see if he's able to continue it. We're going on to game 2. We'll see you there.